So I'm a little nervous about the mic. It's a brand new mic, so let me know how it sounds. And then to Tia Lemon, I wasn't late. I wasn't that late. I hope I wasn't late. I don't think I was late. Anyways, we have some stuff to talk about. Also, let me know if the mic is okay. I mean, that's a serious request here. And if you guys troll the chat, I'm going to be so upset because I'm not going to know if there's a difference. All right. Anyways, let me know where you're tuning in from. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day. I think I hit all of them. Where are you tuning in from? Where are you watching from? What are you drinking? How was your Tuesday? Go ahead and let me know. Let's see if we can pull this up a little bit while we're just seeing everyone's coming on in the chat and people are coming to hang out with us for a little bit. We're going to do a little thing here. Heidi from Houston. Oh, hey, Houston. And we got some more Texans in the house. New Zealand. Oh, wow. All the way over there. We got Ontario, some Canadians, Seattle, Ohio, West Virginia. What are y'all drinking? You having wine tonight? Is it a tea night? Is it a water night? Is it a I need hydration night? Boca Raton, Florida. Oh, we've got some news out of Boca tonight. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia. Wow. Is it cold out there yet? I'm not sure. Tennessee and coffee. Good for you. There are good ones. I can't do the coffee in the evening. I can't do that. It'll put me to sleep. That's a weird thing. I know, but coffee will put me straight to sleep. Madison, Wisconsin. Love to see you. Glad. Newfoundland, Kansas City. 1:30 a.m. Tuning in from bed. Good. Hopefully we can keep you entertained, put you to sleep, whatever floats your boat. South Carolina and water, Albuquerque, Bristol, Tennessee, New York, Southwest Michigan, Toronto, Massachusetts. Y'all are coming in from everywhere this evening. So how's your week going? Hopefully pretty well. All right. So we had some news. I know that some of you guys are golfers. I know a lot of you are not. It's okay. We don't discriminate. That's fine. But the golf world has kind of been in a little bit of a, well, let's check the soundboard, see. A little bit of a what the. Hopefully you guys heard that because I heard that in my head. Golf world kind of went to a what the territory in the last few days. Primarily dealing with lawsuits around Live Golf, the PGA Tour, and then one very infamous individual, Patrick Reed. So, why is Mr. Reed the focus of tonight's discussion? Because Mr. Reed decided that he wanted to, oh no, Brentwood Chic, is it really not beeping? No beep. No beep. We gotta fix that. I have to fix that. Otherwise it's gonna drive me nuts. That's going to be really upsetting. How is that beep? Or this voice? Is that coming through at all? Do we have any modulation whatsoever? No modulation? Unfortunate. Okay. We'll have to deal without it. See? New microphone. It's the unfortunate thing about doing these things live. Just have to make sure that we can handle it. Wow. Looking at the microphone settings, all kinds of craziness. This is wild. All right. No bleeps tonight. That's fine. We don't need the bleeps because we'll just bleep it. We'll just bleep it in our heads, right? We'll just beep. Yep. Anyway, the golf we went to what the boop. Like craziness the past few weeks. Patrick Reed decided that he wanted to enter the fray and he wanted to file his very own defamation case. He felt left out. He said, you know what? Johnny Depp gets a defamation case. I get a defamation case. It's like Oprah out here. You get a defamation case. You get a defamation case. You get a defamation case. You get $1 million. So Patrick Reed decided that he wanted to jump in and party with the big boys. And what did he do? So he filed a defamation case. Patrick Reed, for those who don't know who he is a golfer formerly of the PGA Tour and currently golfing in the Live Golf Tour. What was that? That's not a normal thing. Tour. Anyways, Patrick Reed. I don't know if we call him the bad boy on tour. Kind of has a little bit of a reputation. Not the nicest of fellas you want to play with. At least that's an opinion. That's another thing. I want to disclose this one because the attorney that filed this lawsuit loves litigation. Like really loves litigation, files a ton of lawsuits. So I'm going to be very clear. Everything that I say in this broadcast is purely opinion. I'm giving my opinion on what I'm looking at as far as the law, as far as the facts, and as far as the allegations of the pleadings. I am not making a factual allegation as to Patrick Reed or any of the attorneys or parties involved in the case. So you have that disclosure. So to the extent that you feel the need to file frivolous litigation, I at least made that disclosure at the outset. Thinking, did I cover the bases? Opinion. Yeah. A lot of commentary that we give over this stuff here. Anyways, Patrick Reed, let's pull up the lawsuit. He filed a $750 million lawsuit. $750 million is not small potatoes, but why did he do it? Why did he do it? I don't know why he did it. Let's see. We're going to find out why he did it. So, how do we want to do this? Yeah, let's do it this way. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. And it's going to be something that we can do together. Because this stuff is really fun. And sometimes in the butt. And we like to share screens. And sometimes we have technical issues that are fun. Awesome fun. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Patrick Reed, where are you? There you are. I found you. So Patrick Reed files this lawsuit. And Rob, share your screen. Rob, learn how to do this. Rob, this is not that complicated. You've done it before. I know you've done it before. I've seen you do it. I did it. Okay. Why is there only one unicorn? Because there's only one unicorn. Two of them got delivered to their nieces. The others are awaiting their delivery. And yes, I am seeing some of the. You guys found the new emojis. That's cool. That's fun. Yeah, you found the new ones. Yep. Focus, Rob. There we go. All right. So Patrick Reed files his lawsuit. Patrick Nathaniel Reed against Brandel Eugene Chamblee. Now, Chamblee is a commentator on the Golf Channel. That's why a lot of people won't know that name. If you don't really follow golf regularly, you're not going to recognize that name very thoroughly. So he files his lawsuit against Chamblee. And this lawsuit, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. There we go. Jurisdiction and venue, blah, blah, blah. He files it. Where did he file this thing? Texas, Southern District of Texas. That's where Patrick Reed lives. He filed it where he lives, claiming diversity jurisdiction. That basically is, I live in one state, you live in another, and we have an amount in controversy that's greater than a certain dollar figure, so we're allowed to file it in federal court. So he goes to federal court. So in federal court, what does he want to do? Why does he want to do these things? So now we basically go into the facts. Now here is Patrick Reed's recitation of him as a protagonist. It's the background information. He gets to disclose who he is as an individual, who he is as a golfer, and yeah. So Patrick Reed, Mr. Reed's a professional golfer who began his career after winning back-to-back NCAA championships at Augusta State University and started his professional career by, I can speak, Monday qualifying for PGA Tour events in 2012 with his then fiance and now wife caddying for him. His wife still caddies for him. A lot of controversy around there. She's a rather fun character. Yep. The duo earned Mr. Reed a PGA Tour card qualifying through Q School for the PGA Tour in 2012. Together, they won their first PGA tournament in their first season on the PGA Tour at the Wyndham Championship in 2013 at Sedgefield Country Club. Patrick Reed was 23 years old. Since his first win, Mr. Reed has gone on to win a total of 9 PGA tournaments, including his first major championship victory in 2018 at the Masters in Augusta, Georgia. That's that picture that we all see of him placing that lovely, pretty green jacket that every single golfer loves onto his back. He became a dual member of the PGA Tour and the European Tour in 2015 and successfully made it to each tour's grand finale for the best players in the world, the Tour Championship, and the Race to Dubai. He is not only a Masters champion, but also a 9-time PGA Tour champion and an 8-time U.S. team member, an honorary lifetime member of the DP World Tour, and he has a highly successful career, having just turned 32 years old. Still a young buck. He was a voting member of the PGA Tour and consistently made it to the Tour Championship every year since 2014 to 2021. He has been the only American to play on both the DP World Tour, the European Tour, and the PGA Tour since 2015. He's a global professional golfer. To sum it up, his 9 PGA Tour wins consist of 2 World Championships, 2 FedEx Cup playoff events, and a major championship at the 2018 Masters Tournament. Mr. Reed is one of the most successful and accomplished professional golfers in the world since beginning his career at 22. He was ranked as high as 6 in the official World Golf Ranking as late as 2020 and has remained a top player in the world since earning his PGA Tour card in 2013 and has proudly represented the United States worldwide on team events and individually since 2014. Oh my. Good for you, Pat Reed. You know what? Good for you. Yeah. Oh. And to put all this in perspective, Mr. Reed is the youngest world golf champion ever, beating out Tiger Woods' record of youngest world golf champion by 26 days. Mr. Reed won his debut World Golf Championship event at Doral, Florida at the age of 23. Last but hardly least, Mr. Reed is also the 4th American golfer to receive an honorary lifetime membership on the European Tour. The previous 3 Americans were the late Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and Tom Watson. He also holds 3 PGA Tour records on tour. So he likes himself a lot. Like, he really likes himself a lot. You throw in the comparison like to Tiger Woods, and you might get people thinking some thoughts. Just saying. Also, in 2014 and 2016, he was the leading point scorer for American Ryder Cup team, which earned him the nickname Captain America. Is that a well-known nickname? Yeah, no, I'm not sure about that one. Captain America. I don't think I've ever heard him call anyone. I don't think I've ever heard anyone call Patrick Reed Captain America. And honestly, I'm not sure I'd really. Yeah, no, we're gonna withhold criticism on that front. Anyways, he then decides he wants to join LIV Tour. And he joins LIV Golf, and he becomes the pariah of the league. Jay Monahan, the commissioner of the PGA, has been rather forthright in his public media outlash towards the LIV players, basically saying they all earn themselves lifetime bans by playing on the LIV Tour. They can't play PGA Tour events, and they have their own separate lawsuit combating that. That's their separate lawsuit. This is a different lawsuit than that. Because this is a defamation lawsuit against Chamblee and Golf Channel. Yep. Now, he uses this word here, that Monahan and the PGA Tour were trying to constructively terminate Mr. Reed. I don't think that's appropriate. They weren't trying to constructively terminate him. They basically just said, you can decide one thing, you can go play for LIV, and you can't play for the PGA. And that's kind of what it is. I don't think that's constructive termination. They gave him a choice, and he made the choice. He went to go play for LIV. Now, we have talked about Jay Monahan and his pattern and practices of talking about the LIV Tour players. I don't think in any of these quotes you're going to see something from Jay Monahan making a reference to Patrick Reed as an individual. I think it's pretty much, just highlighting this for a second. Tish, T in Tennessee, gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Tish. I can't see those back here. StreamYard That's one flaw there. They don't let me see it. I can't see it, but I did see that. So, guys, thank you for drawing my attention to that. Let's keep on moving. So, anyways, Patrick Reed files this lawsuit against a rather vocal and outspoken individual in Chamblee. So there's a lot of colorful language in this lawsuit, a lot of colorful language, and I wouldn't really expect much less. Patrick Reed. Now, he makes a lot of commentary in here about how it was the coverage of his transition to live golf that earned him the ire of the commissioner, and it wasn't anything or any of his own actions. And I don't really, that's not really fair. It's not fair. Yeah. Because Patrick Reed also did other stuff. So he basically says that because Jay Monahan and the PGA Tour went out and made their statements about the live golfers, that he has been forced to endure such things as personal attacks, including and not limited to, and some of these are on video. You can actually catch them. Now on the tee, the excavator. That's in reference to a video I'll show you guys in a minute. You suck. You effing suck. You jackass. Yep. Hearken to Happy Gilmore. I'm pretty sure it was probably said in that exact voice. Go ahead and tee off, Patrick Reed. You jackass. You coward. Shovel. Why don't you? We're not gonna say that. Dig a grave and bury yourself in it. No, that's not okay. You piece of S. No one likes you. Everyone hates you, Reed. Good luck digging yourself out of this one. You guys get the memo on a lot of the digging things. So, beat the cheater's butt. I put my word in there. Sorry, Webb, for having to play the cheat. Who did you piss off? So basically, someone went back through and listened to a lot of tape of these tour events to basically watch Patrick Reed and kind of listen to everything that people were saying about him. They don't say nice things. That there is one part about this lawsuit that's true. They don't say nice things about Pat Reed. He is not a very well-liked character in the world golf community. But whether that's because of words said by others or because of his own behavior, we are going to discuss that a little bit more thoroughly. Yeah, Patrick Reed. Oh, man. All right, well, let's talk about why Patrick Reed might have the reputation he does. There was a tournament that was played back in, let me actually get the date of this one right. Patrick Reed. So 2019. Yeah, 2019. He plays at Tiger Woods' golf tournament, the Hero Championship. And in doing so, he finds himself in a bunker. And you can thank a lot of the camera footage because we got this one. Now, I'm going to play this and I'm going to try and mute the audio so that we can just see what's going on here. So Patrick Reed finds himself in a bunker. And he's in the bunker and he's looking at his lie and he's saying, how am I going to get out of this bunker? I don't know what to do. Oh, that's interesting. What is he? Ooh, he seems to be really close to the ball. Huh. What's he doing there? Well, his ball looks kind of nestled up and he goes, oh, you know what? That ball doesn't look as bad as it did a second ago. Why is that the case? Yep, Patrick, go ahead and let's look at it a little more. Let's look at it again. Let's see where are we going to hit the ball? How are we going to hit it? Is the sand, did I move all the sand out of the way or is there still some that needs to get moved? I'm not really sure. Let me go out over here and just double check and make sure that I did move the sand. I did. I think I did. So let's go ahead and line up and hit this shot. We're going to line up and hit the shot. And as we're hitting the shot, Oh, we're going to go ahead and just hit a normal sand shot. Well, nice. Good on you, Patrick. Way to hit that shot right on the green. Way to go. So it goes on the green. But a little bit later, we see this. Whoops. See it again. Whoops. What was that? Is he clearing out the sand behind his ball? That's rather strange. Why would he do that? Well, for those of you who don't follow golf, when the ball lands up in the bunker, you have to play it as it lies. Sometimes we get what's called a fried egg, which is quite literally a ball that's planted itself in the sand. It looks like a fried egg. You got the ball that's sitting there nestled, and you see half of it over the sand, half of it under the sand, and it's buried. And that's not a fun shot to hit. That shot sucks. Sometimes you land in sand, and sand is hilly all around it, and you're trying to figure out, well, how am I get my club face down to actually hit ball? And sometimes you end up with funky lies where the ball is half in, half out. The sand, sand is sand. You're going to end up in there, and there's no really way of predicting it. But what you're not allowed to do is you're not allowed to ground your club. That means you're not allowed to put your club on the sand or manipulate the sand in any fashion to change that ball's position or to change the lie of the ball so that when you're striking that ball, you have not altered its position. What Patrick Reed does is he puts his wedge up there and he slowly just scoops the sand away, gives himself a nice little bed of sand to go after. And now I want to ask you guys in the chat, do you think that any of those comments that were made, that were referred to in this lawsuit, could have possibly been made referencing that manipulation of the sand that Patrick Reed, as a digger, excavator, go ahead and dig yourself your own blank, all of those digging comments? You think any of those might have had to do with what was just captured on footage? So Patrick Reed finishes his round, and he did not score himself that penalty. He finishes his round all the way. He walks to the tent, and one of the scoring officials is there, and they play the video in front of him, and they say, "We've got to assess you a 2-stroke penalty." So they give him the 2-stroke penalty. He still doesn't agree that he deserves it, but they give him the 2-stroke penalty. So he gets a 2-stroke penalty, and this is what starts to give him the moniker of cheater. And actually, it was pretty well known even back then. Here's another little clip that's kind of funny. I should leave the audio on for this one.
This one's going to stop. I know that.
Thomas?
Good luck with that one, JT. Hey, Reed, is this right?
Hang on. I got it. Play that again.
Hey, Reed, is this right? Hey, Reed, is this right?
Yep. Dun, dun, dun. The plot thickens. It's kind of funny. So that video was shot just like weeks after that. That was actually when Justin Thomas was playing for the U.S. team in the Ryder Cup, and made that little troll. And yeah, quite the little burn there. So to the extent that Patrick Reed is alleging in his complaint that all of these negative comments and hate that he is getting stemmed from statements that were made on the Golf Channel, I'm not sure that that's fairly accurate. It looked like Justin Thomas was just doing the little Patrick Reed thing. Oh, and you know what? There's more. Of course there's more. Why wouldn't there be more? Because this came up in several other incidents, including an interview with Brooks Koepka.
Reed situation that that a lot of folks were talking about, and people accuse.
Y'all, how many of you guys remember Swag? This is a good test of the age for the chat. Do you guys remember who Sway is? That gentleman that's interviewing Brooks Koepka? If you do, tell me where he first appeared on TV. Yeah.
accusing him of cheating and trying to change his lie in the sand pit. Like, you know, what are your thoughts on that? Was he cheating?
Yeah.
Don't hold anything back, Brooks. Just let him have it. Yeah.
I think, yeah. I mean, I don't know what he was doing, playing, you know, building sand castles in the sand, but you know where your club is. I mean, I took 3 months off, and I can promise you, I know if I touch sand. I don't think it's one of those things where, you know, if you look at the video, obviously he grazes his hand twice.
Yeah, Koepka is seeing what everyone else has seen. He's looked at the video. Every other player has seen this. This is the commentary.
And then he still chops down on it. It's, I guess, you know, the Astros are going through that right now. Jim Crane said it, you know, when he got asked, is it cheating? And he said, no, we just, you know, broke the rules.
For you guys in the chat, is it cheating? No, we just broke the rules. I think it's only cheating if you don't get caught, maybe that's the definition. But yeah, so let's see. Come on, Brooks, you got anything else to say? Come on, give us something.
I know it's one of those things where I don't think, if you play the game, you understand the rules, you understand, you know, the integrity that goes on, and I mean, there's no room for it. You know, I think a lot of times too, I think guys, and I'll be honest, I've seen it a couple times where it's like, whoa, I've seen some big names be like, whoa, that's not right, and I've bit my tongue.
So what Brooks is getting to here is actually kind of correct. Golf itself is very, 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 I mean, they call it the gentleman's sport. And I don't mean to say gentlemen as far as men, gentleman, gentle lady. I don't care. It's a sport that's an honorable sport because you keep score on yourself. You score yourself. You are not trying to so much as beat the opponent that you're with as you're trying to beat the course. That's why I love golf. I love golf because of that challenge. People look at me, and when I go up and I hit one into the woods, and then I put another ball in the tee box, and I hit another one. My friends look at me and they say, well, you know, just take another one. Well, no. And they said, well, look, we're just playing, we're friends. I said, I will know that the score that I just shot was not real. And that's not okay with me. Look, I'm either going to score well on that golf course because the golf course is my opponent, not the person I'm playing against. Yes, I'm playing against someone who's talented. And if they hit great shots, they hit great shots. If I get bad shots, I hit bad shots. But the person I'm playing, the challenge that I'm facing in that moment is the golf course. So I do acknowledge that there are golfers out there, tons of pros out there that probably do little things to either improve their lie, or they take a favorable drop, or they bend the rules, or some of them try to get away with stuff. I don't like it, and I don't think it has a place in this game. And so when a camera catches something that the player should, by all rights, call on themselves, because that's part of it. That's part of golf too. Golf, you are given the opportunity to player to assess the penalty yourself. And that's how the game's always played. The player assesses the penalty on themselves. There's a certain amount of trust and respect that must be carried on in that game. And when players go and they defy those rules and they improve their circumstances against the rules, breaking the rules, I personally call that cheating. I think that is cheating if you're breaking the rules. It doesn't really do very well for the sport, and it doesn't do well for a lot of people that watch it. No one wants to see someone go and like lay a ball up and just place it in like this perfect little tuft of grass and hit it every time. That's not part of golf. Part of golf is seeing people get in really bad situations that are really unlucky, and then watching these pros who hit out of these crazy situations. I don't know if you guys have ever watched some of the craziest golf shots that are out there. You have people that are hitting from under trees, beside trees, from under plants, from out of bushes, from every single angle that you could imagine. And every one of those shots is so impressive. Now, did they pull their ball out of that bush and move it and adjust it and hit a perfect shot? No, it's messy. It's supposed to be. You're supposed to face those challenges as they come to you. So When someone gets caught via a camera, yeah. And then someone here is going, Robbie, are you talking professionally? There are. And this is what's cool about golf too. If someone wants to move and shift their ball and I'm playing with them in a group, go ahead and do that. That is 100% you. You play the game that you are skilled and blessed to play, because you're right. Golf is hard enough as it is, but it's a personal decision to you, the player. You, the player, have the opportunity to know whether what you just said and what you wrote on that scorecard is true, or what you wrote on the scorecard is because you kind of rigged the game in your own favor. So, yeah. Golf as a professional sport is a little bit different because you have eyes on these guys all the time. And we're not talking about, you and a bunch of guys going out and having guys, gals, whoever, going out and having a bunch of beers on the golf course and shooting around. Because at that point in time, what does your score matter? It's in your head. It's yours. But when you're talking about money in a game, and when you're talking about how every player ends that game, and you're talking about a pot of $100, $200, $300, you get to be a little bit more critical about the things that your players and your opponents do. And then when you're talking about pools of money in the millions, well, that's in a league all its own. That's when things actually become pretty serious. So I think that Brooks has a good point here.
You can't hide from the cameras and everything. And, we bite our tongue a lot. It's one of those things, guys have hit it in the rough and all of a sudden they've got 3-wood out and they're down there patting it down. It's interesting. It goes on a little bit more than people think.
Is it hurting the sport, or is it all fair play? If you could get away with it, then you could get away with it.
It's not good. It's not good. It's one of those things where it's going to be tough to kind of prove unless the cameras actually catch it. You're calling them out, but at the same time, you can't really prove that it helped them. You can't prove, but it's like, what was really going on there? There's no reason. I remember it. I was playing with a guy in the U.S. Open. He hits it right on this one hole and takes 3-wood out. And I know that the rough is 6 inches. There's no way he's hitting this ball, and all of a sudden he's got 3-wood out, patting it down. And I've even looked at the guy I was playing with. I was like, this ain't right. And literally, next thing you know, he takes out a wedge and full swing the wedge, and the ball only goes 60 yards. So I don't know what he was doing.
Brooks is making a good point there. And before we get to that point, I need to go grab my bottle of wine because I've got it downstairs. I'll be right back. Right back. Be patient with me, please. I'll be right back. Sorry. 2 seconds. All right. I'm back. Wine. Had to fix. Did that music come through? If it did, the soundboard's working. If it didn't, the soundboard's not working. So frustrating. Let me see if this actually does it. Because there's so many microphones and I'm terrified to hit one of these.
Oh, that was scary. Am I back? Is the audio back? The audio's back. The audio's back. Am I muted now? Probably. Because I'm an idiot. Oh, the mic is good. Oh, good, good, good. So, yay, back on. All right. Beep works. Beep works. Voice mod works, but can't hear you otherwise. Can you all hear me now? Get it together, Rob. Get it together, Rob. I'm trying. I'm trying so very hard. Trying like crazy as I go.
Oh, why was that so creepy? I had the crazy voice on. Yes, Rob, focus. Now I'm quiet. Am I now quiet? Now we can hear you? You guys. No, I'm not going to randomly crank call my viewers in this voice. Maybe. Maybe not. Very quiet. Getting better, getting better, getting better. Let's try that. Trying a little bit louder. Let's see if that works. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Here, let's try that. I'll turn the volume up a little bit. Regular voice now. All right. Let's get back to the lawsuit, and hopefully you guys can hear me. So anyways, Miss Patrick Reed. Maybe there's another reason for all those little because he might have done some things that were not really savory. Anyways, but that's all at the fault of Jay Monahan, PGA Tour, and Golf Channel. So they rake in billions in revenue because they have shunned Patrick Reed. I'm sure that's the case itself. So now here we go. This is where we get to the first of statements. And thank you to the attorney that drafted this complaint because he was kind enough to, someone's saying that little bleep kind of busted the eardrums. We don't want that to happen at all. So I'm going to just avoid the bleep for a while. Yep. Chat's on the screen. All right. So he was kind enough to basically make all of these bolded. The first one was if they're aligning themselves with a tyrannical, murderous leader. Look, if you look at who MBS is, and referring to the Saudi monarch, centralizing power, committing all these atrocities, you look at what he's doing to the citizens of his country. Ask yourself, would you have played for Stalin? Would you have played for Hitler? Would you have played for Mao? Would you play for Pol Pot? Now that's a little bit of rhetoric right there. Would you have played for Putin? Would you have played for Putin? Which, and this is who this guy is. He settles disputes with bone saws. Now, this is all in reference to, it's all in reference to the less than favorable treatment / killing of a journalist in Saudi Arabia who was disfavorable to the monarch. But that was the first statement that they're viewing as defamatory. So then he makes this other argument, which I think is rather interesting. He basically says that this would be akin to stating that LeBron James has aligned himself with a tyrannical murderer's leader because he plays for National Basketball Association. Now, I don't know what news sources any of you guys are watching, but I'm pretty sure that those comments are being made about LeBron James rather publicly, that he essentially, the Chinese Republic, he has not come out very favorably against them. And every time that they get brought up into the news as far as their NBA involvement, he comes out and defends them rather staunchly. So those things are being said. They're being said about LeBron James. So the fact that this finds its way into the complaint as some like magical thing that has not happened. Yep. So Chamblee then goes, I think there's a reason for that. They're destroying the professional game. They've been put in the Hall of Fame because they had of their accomplishments, because of their legacy. Well, they've tainted their legacy in an irreparable way. So I think both of them should be kicked out of the Hall of Fame. I really do. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that really sounds like a heck of a lot of opinion. It's a lot of opinion in there. So in order to be defamatory, it has to be an actual false statement, a provably false statement. Now, you can imply a defamatory purpose, but you actually have to imply that something that is factually provable as to that specific person would be grounds for defamation. He's tainted his legacy in an irreparable way. It sounds like an opinion. It sounds like rhetoric. Purely playing for blood money. Again, you guys are seeing, this is the same rhetoric that we've seen stated broadly on the Live Golf Tour issues. And whether you agree with it or not, you have to kind of acknowledge it's very much rhetorical. That we're not talking about someone going out and basically saying that each one of these golfers is a murderer. I'm not saying that. I don't think I've seen anyone else say that. I think it's pretty much, no, they're just saying that they're playing for the Saudi-backed regime. That's it. We're not going crazy here. Anyways, the statements at issue in this particular case are a lot of this junk. And yeah. Now again, he's talking, this is the Live Golf debate. Now he's continued his subterfuge by saying PGA Tour could end any threat, presumably from the Saudi blood money funding a proposed Super Golf League, by just handing back the media rights to the players. Tell me where he says Patrick Reed or refers to Patrick Reed or any of the players specifically. He kind of is referring to all of them generally. And even so, a lot of this is rhetoric. There's nothing here that really makes sense. People are trying, if you're trying to draw the implication, trying to draw the connection to the more recent of the defamation cases that we've seen, the Johnny Depp case. The Johnny Depp case there was a reference to some event that occurred that was a specific point in time that could not have been anything other than the implication that Johnny Depp committed an act of domestic abuse against Amber Heard. This is different. This is saying these players played for blood money. There are so many layers in there that are opinion upon opinion upon opinion. And you're not really referring to one player, and you're not really giving any specifics at all. You can't, as a group, sue for defamation because me as a part of a group doesn't like what's being said. You have to actually be wronged. So this type of statement is what litters this complaint. And now Chamblee is not shy about his opinions of these guys that go to play Live for Live Golf. Now, the funny thing is, you see how this quote here, Chamblee stated that Mr. Reed violated the unwritten code in so many ways that even the rules officials themselves were sort of stammering at how to address it. The quote doesn't refer to Patrick Reed because I don't think this quote actually refers to him. I think it's referring to the Live golfers generally. Yep. Mm-hmm. There was another part here. Ask yourself this: if anybody else in the field were to conduct themselves around a golf ball in this manner, would it be good for the game of golf? It would not be. Mirroring what Brooks Koepka said. Is Brooks Koepka being sued? Nope, because Brooks Koepka made an observation that was an opinion on what he saw. Not to mention the fact that there was a violation of the rule that occurred in that moment. These are all statements, again, about him cheating. We're still talking about cheating. There's a defense to defamation. That defense is truth, that what the statement being made was a truthful statement. And I'm pretty sure that based on that, you saw two different professional golfers that were giving their opinion on what occurred. You actually saw the rules violation occur right there in front of you. So, yeah. And that's not his only incident. In 2015, there was a similar circumstance. He was wearing a red shirt at that point in time. The video is really grainy. I'll see if I can find it, but really no point. It just looks the exact same, where he brushes the sand away from the ball. Yeah. I mean, any damages from the statement that he's being a cheater? That's a good point. Someone raised that in the chat. Is there any damage to the statement that he's being a cheater? Well, if you're a cheater, you're a cheater. The damage comes at you cheating. And I keep referring to that one incident because he was assessed a penalty because he broke the rules. That's breaking the rules. So that's the incident I'm referring to. To anyone else who's out there in the stratosphere basically saying, Rob's calling Patrick Reed a cheater. No, I'm saying in that instance, you see his club face brush the sand away from the ball. That's cheating. That's not allowed. It's just what it is. Now, there was another incident that took place more recently where he was involved in another controversy. Let's watch this one. Out of the sand, then he goes into the grass. You see how the ball bounced there? I want to show you that. So watch it. You see how it bounces? Okay. There's a rule in golf that basically says that if your ball gets plugged, like if you hit your ball so high and the ground is so wet that the ball itself goes and breaks the surface of the ground and the ball plugs. So remember the sand example I gave you guys, the sand and the ball sitting in the sand fried egg? That's the sand, because you can actually hit into sand and it's not really going to affect it. The rules of the game are basically that if it's in the sand, you still have to play it even if the ball is beneath the surface or has broken the surface. That's not the case for grass. If the ball goes and plugs into the grass where the ball itself has broken the surface, so you have the grass here and you have the ball, the little half moon sticking up over the grass, that is a plug. You are allowed to remove that ball from the plug and then place it, because the rules say that that's not a fair condition for a player to have to face. Well, funny thing about that is, in order for a ball to plug, it has to be coming down with such velocity that it hits the ground and penetrates into the actual soil. It doesn't like bounce up and then like after that soft bounce, when something goes bounce, and then on the return back to the ground from the bounce, then it magically plugs. It's not how that works. Anyways, Patrick Reed goes over there and we'll actually watch it. Let's see. Oh, come on, video, catch up. So he goes over there and he calls the rule official over. But before the rule official gets there, there's the ball, pulls it out of the ground, pulls it out. No rule official there. Says, I didn't see it bounce. Picks the ball up and then places it on the grass. Now, the funny thing about this one is, this one wasn't a bright line violation, because what he did wasn't true. See how he put the ball there on the ground there? What he did wasn't breaking the rules in that moment. He called the official over. He announced to everyone there that essentially the ball had plugged and that he had to pick it up out of the ground to put it onto another surface. And he did. He went over and marked it and he did that. The problem was that he did it in a really less than forthright way. And a lot of people really didn't appreciate how he handled that situation. Now, Patrick Reed swears he did it properly, and the rules official did. They came out and they said, look, the rules, he followed the rules to the letter on this one. Every other player was like, yes, he did, but is it shady? Kind of. Yeah. And yes, it was after he marked it. He did mark it, and like I said, he followed the rules. He followed the rules. He did. But it's not the cleanest way of doing it. So all of this commentary about this one, again, anybody in the world of golf who watched this, it was a repugnant video to anybody in the world of golf as far back as the game goes. Again, does that feel like opinion or does that feel like a statement of fact? So, yeah. A lot of rhetoric surrounding Patrick Reed. Now, the funny thing is, all of these statements were made quite some time ago. And they're only now coming to light because Patrick Reed is becoming more and more of a player that gets a lot of shade thrown at him because of his affiliation or alignment with Live Golf. So yeah, he sets forth the defamation count. Yada, yada, yada. You lied. Give me money. You hurt my reputation. We just saw that maybe the statements themselves weren't what hurt the reputation. Maybe it was just him. Then he does civil conspiracy. He says that Golf Channel and Chamblee conspired together to harm his reputation, like they had a motivated interest in doing so. So what really made me curious about this complaint wasn't so much the allegations, because I read through them pretty quickly and I was like, no. Not a whole lot of meat. Nope. Not a whole lot of meat, just a bunch of dressing. So he alleges all these things, and he asks for $750 million. So he's saying that the Golf Channel's commentary and that Chamblee's commentary specifically cost him actual damages to his reputation akin to $750. Let me say it again, million dollars. That's a lot of money. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Anyone in the chat, if you think that Patrick Reed could earn in his lifetime, let's say he had a sterling reputation, in his lifetime, if you think he could earn $750 million, go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. If you think that there's no way in heck he could earn the $750 million that he's asking for, drop a 2. I'm very curious to see how many 1s actually show up, or if it's going to be just a flood of 2s. Because, yeah. Oh, the injunctive relief. He does ask for injunctive relief. The injunctive relief he asked for is basically stop talking about me. Dude, you're a professional golfer. You're a professional golfer. Like, stop talking about me. No, you don't have the right for people just to not go out and talk about you, or to not go out and say they don't like what you're doing, or to have an opinion about what you're doing. People are allowed to have their opinions. What's the saying? Opinions are like beep holes. I didn't hit the button because it was really loud. Opinions are like beep holes. Everyone's got one. Doesn't mean you got to go flash it around. Like, and then plus, so many stupid things. Why is it so stupid? It's dumb. Yes, he lost endorsements. But did he lose endorsements because he was caught on video moving sand away from his ball? Or did he lose endorsements because it just so happened to be that people talked about the thing that they saw on TV? Because that's the other thing about it. They talked about the thing they saw on TV, and they gave their opinions on what they witnessed. We all saw it. It was there for the world to see. Now, the reason I was so curious about this one was I wanted to know the lawyer that filed this lawsuit. Mr. Larry Klayman. Yeah, that brought us to a whole nother area. So who is Larry Klayman? So Larry Klayman is an interesting fella. Larry Klayman founded Freedom Watch and is a rather litigious individual. I did a brief pacer search on his lawsuits that he filed, and he likes to sue a lot of people. He sued CNN, OPEC, CNN multiple times, OPEC. He sued Alex Jones, who hasn't sued Alex Jones. Basically, anyone who says anything negative about him, he sues a bunch of websites, sues a bunch of publications. He sues all these different people. Now, he's an attorney. What's interesting about these lawsuits is these lawsuits aren't filed on behalf of clients. These lawsuits are filed on behalf of him. He is the one that goes out and says that these individuals defamed him. Now, he does represent clients in other cases. Now, he hasn't won a defamation case that I can see. But he sues these corporations. He sued YouTube too. Yeah, hey, YouTube, I didn't sue you. I'm talking about that guy, Larry Klayman. He did it, not me. Nope, don't go after my channel. I'm not talking about me. He sued YouTube. He sues everybody. Has he won any of the defamation cases? No, not that I can see at all. He sues them so they can get discovery. Then he gets discovery. Then he goes and publicizes the discovery on his website. And he makes a big hubbub about it. And he loves being in the media. Most recently, he sued. Where is this? Because I did pull it up. Oh, here's a good one. So this is a website. Let's go ahead and stop sharing this one. Share the screen, Rob. So, no, I don't want to talk to your personal assistant, please. Thank you. Phillips and Hunt, these are attorneys that are representing a person that he is suing right now. And they didn't really like the fact their client was sued. And I don't think they have a very high opinion of this guy here. See, I'm already remembering. I'm always forgetting his name. Why am I always forgetting his name? Klayman. Larry Klayman. They don't have a high opinion of him. So they represent one of the people he sued. And these are some of the lawsuits that Larry Klayman has filed that have gotten dismissed. So we've got Larry Klayman versus Commie Girl Industries, Larry Klayman versus Timothy Burke, Newsweek, Daily Beast, Roger Stone. He sued the Bidens. It's another law firm. He was sued in those cases. Speeding ticket. Bar disciplinary actions, 2011 court order. He was reprimanded back then. Washington, D.C. He has been suspended in Washington, D.C. He has appealed that suspension. He has filed a writ of mandamus against that suspension. He has filed an actual complaint against all 13 sitting judges on the D.C. Court of Appeals, saying that they should not be able to hear his case. Like, he actually sued the judges, all 13 of them. That's an interesting case. These are courts that have limited his abilities to practice in their courtroom. So he's not allowed to practice in any of these courts, or has limited practice in any of these courts. And these are cases from his PACER history. He sued BLM. He sued Obama. He sued Holder. He sued, I don't even know what that one is. Guy Cecil, Priorities USA. He likes to sue a lot of people, tons of people. Maricopa County. Oh, that's right. He did. He filed the lawsuit, the defamation lawsuit on behalf of Sheriff Joe Arpaio. That one was dismissed. So he lost that one. I don't know if it was dismissed or if he just lost it, but he didn't succeed in that one against Stan Lee. Oh my gosh, in the United States of America, Baldwin Hardware. Now notice that all the people, when I'm pulling these things up, it's him. He is the one suing. He's the plaintiff. Like, he's not a lawyer representative. He's plaintiff. There's Larry Klayman versus the Barack Hussein Obama. Oh, this is a funny one. In this civil action for damages against defendant Barack Obama for assault and intentional infliction of emotional distress, and based on defendant Obama's and his surrogates, agents, and co-conspirators' overt actions to incite violence and/or serious bodily harm stemming from President Donald Trump's January 27, 2017 executive order titled "Protecting the Nation from Foreign Terrorist Entry into the United States." The executive order, the actions and/or omissions giving rise to plaintiff Larry Klayman's causes of actions occurred within the jurisdictional district as set forth below and were made by the defendant Obama as a private citizen. He thus has no possible claim of immunity from that suit. Dude. Tried to sue the president for statements the president made. Like, I get it, you don't like the statements. Sued the ACLU, Cedarquist. Oh my gosh. Regents University of California. Yeah, he sued Berkeley. I mean, why not? Well, I mean, he's just going to sue everybody. Sued Antifa. Does Antifa have like a registered business address that you can sue? Like I'm being kind of like, yes, I'm joking a little bit, but I'm also being kind of serious. Like, if you're going to file a lawsuit against Antifa, is there a mailing address that I can send correspondence to Antifa? Or how can I, is there an Antifa head? Like, is there someone who's the corporate designee for Antifa? Let's say that I want to depose Antifa. How do I depose Antifa? I don't know, but he files these lawsuits. Loves the lawsuits. How did Patrick Reed end up with this guy? I have no clue. None. Nada. But he's very proud to represent Patrick Reed. Very proud. He actually went and did an interview. I don't know how much of this I can or will show. To our YouTube channel. You know what? I'm going to link the interview below, and you can watch it for yourselves. But let's see. Here, I'll do it without audio because this is going to be kind of curious. You guys are going to get a real kick out of this one. He does an interview on a YouTube channel, and just to give you an idea of how he shows up to that interview and kind of the dun dun dun. Rob is boomering this. Don't boomer this, Rob. You had opportunity. There's your opportunity. There's your share screen. There you go. So he's wearing that Live Golf hat, does the interview shortly after this. This is on August 18th of 2022. I will link the description. I'll link the video itself. He does this interview about this lawsuit that he filed on behalf of Patrick Reed. He comes wearing this Live Golf hat, very much in favor of Live Golf. And then the very first thing he says in this interview is, and this is what drew my attention to this one, is that in this interview, in the very beginning of the interview, he makes the comment and says, yes, and I also filed my own lawsuit, my own antitrust lawsuit against the PGA. And my ears went like perking way up. I was like, huh? What? I feel like I would have seen that. Would I have seen that? I thought I would have seen that. So I had to go and dig for it, but I did. I dug for it. I went and go find it. And he, in fact, did file his very own lawsuit. Like, good for you, Larry Klayman, because we know that you couldn't do that before. Like, we knew you didn't know how to file lawsuits. No, you knew how to file them. So he does. He files this lawsuit in the Palm Beach County Circuit Court. Files the lawsuit against the PGA. Class action. So Larry Klayman, plaintiff, as a class action lawsuit against PGA, DP World Tour, Jay Monahan, Keith Pelly, collectively the defendants, antitrust violations in Florida. That's what he's alleging. So he files this lawsuit and basically says that they have engaged in practices that are anti-competition, that are all sorts of nefarious, and basically that he has been injured by this anti-competitive nature of the lawsuit. Now, I have no clue where this lawsuit is going to go or whether it has any merit. I have opinions on it. We're just going to say that my opinions of this lawsuit track my opinions of how far that Patrick Reed lawsuit is going to go. And Patrick Reed, man, if you're listening or if you do get this back to you, oh, buddy, I know you're angry. I can tell you this right now, this ain't the way to go. I don't see that lawsuit making it past motion dismissed. No way. Public figure, you would have to knowingly make those statements or do it with such reckless disregard as to constitute malice. Oh my. Yeah, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot's going to happen there. So he files this lawsuit against the PGA. Now, all I can kind of gather from this one is, and this is again, prefacing this again, this is opinion only. This is not a factual statement. Larry Klayman, if you're out there, don't do the thing. I'll have to hire somebody. You're not going to like the person I hire. Yeah, like so foolish. Like it's not going to make it past the motion to dismiss. What's the interest that he is losing out on here? Like, what's his injury? I get that. You know what? If you represent a tent maker or a vendor of sorts, like if you represent a catering business, and your catering business is being threatened with losing all catering to PGA if they cater one event for the live tournament, now that's an interest. You can actually sue, I think. But tell me how Larry Klayman, the man, has this problem. This is headline making news. And I mean, you guys can form your own opinions based on what you saw of that interview. He shows up in the interview wearing the Live Golf hat, talking about the first thing comes out of his mouth is his lawsuit. But he's really out there just pushing it. Oh, he's pushing it hard. Let's close this one. Let's look at how hard he's pushing this. So we've got Freedom Watch. Oh, look, table saw accessories. Oh, I left my tabs open. Awesome. Way to go, Rob. Nothing there. Okay. Now this is kind of funny because this is posted on Freedom Watch. Now he owns Freedom Watch. Well, he's the head of Freedom Watch. So this is not to say self-bolstering, but kind of self-bolstering. Tiger Woods to be subpoenaed to testify under oath about PGA Tour players meeting. For those of you guys who don't know, Tiger Woods showed up with Ricky Fowler at a players meeting that took place, I believe, in Delaware last week. He took his private jet up there, walked out the plane. Leg wasn't looking too great. Gets in a car, a Nissan of all things. Isn't he sponsored by Buick? And also, wasn't it the BMW Championship? Yeah, a lot of questions around that. Gets into a Nissan, drives off, goes to this players meeting with Ricky Fowler. Everyone in the meeting kind of listens to Tiger Woods talk. Rory McIlroy gives a statement last week. The statement basically said Tiger Woods is the alpha. I went into that group, kind of took over the reins. Notably absent from that meeting was Jay Monahan. It was a discussion. The thing we learned from that discussion is that the PGA Tour and the players in those discussions, they kind of play by the rule of fight rules. The first rule of meeting with Tiger Woods is you don't talk about meeting with Tiger Woods. So no one comes out and says anything they talk about. There's been little leaks here and there that talk about how to make the PGA Tour more competitive, more fun. Basically, it was the players kind of taking the reins and Tiger Woods saying, hey, I'm de facto commissioner because I'm Tiger frickin' Woods. So yes, Jay Monahan is the actual legal spearhead of the PGA Tour, but I think Tiger Woods just kind of put everyone reminded of just who Tiger Woods is. So, of course, today this gets released 11:15 Pacific, and it gets released that it basically is saying that he is going to subpoena Tiger Woods to testify for a deposition. And I love how this is stated here. Sworn deposition will occur in class action lawsuit in Florida court. I have my opinions on that too. Now notice. All right. We'll get to that in 1 second. Yep. Depositions will occur in the class action lawsuit in Florida court alleging antitrust violations by PGA Tour, DP World Tour, their commissioners, Jay Monahan and Keith Pelley. So he goes over and then he talks about the fact that Tiger Woods had this meeting with all the players. And then he says Woods is noticed for a deposition on September 21, 2022 in his hometown of Jupiter, Florida. After requests are due to be served on the defendants. I don't know that this is going to get that far. PGA Tour hasn't filed a response in this case, from what I can see, and Tiger Woods hasn't been served with this notice of deposition yet. It was just filed today. Then he goes on and says, this is not a personal thing against Tiger Woods. It's about getting information about what occurred at the players' meeting with regard to allegations in our complaint that the PGA Tour, the DP World Tour, and their commissioners, Jay Monahan and Keith Pelley, are colluding in restraint of trade and the antitrust laws to harm the LIV Golf Tour and its players, to stifle competition from their new league. We look forward to Mr. Woods telling the truth with some sworn testimony under oath. Well, my opinion is that you can keep looking forward to that for a good long while, because I don't think that's going to happen. So he attaches to the notice of deposition. So he did file this in circuit court. Said Tiger Woods. I was worried about blocking that out, but I think that everyone in the world knows where Tiger Woods lives. I think it's not really a named secret. I would caution against showing up anywhere near his house. I imagine his security guards would not appreciate that. Then he's just going to take the deposition September 21 at 10 a.m. Wants it to be a videotape deposition for purpose of discovery and for use at trial. Oh, baby. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be so interesting. I don't think that anyone, so Mark Jansen's Rob doxing Tiger. No, I don't think I had to do that. I'm pretty sure that was already published. And I'm pretty sure that Tiger's address, I actually have looked at the aerial images of that address, because he has a freaking, and I think it's been published all over the place. He has a tee box on his balcony. He can walk out of his bedroom onto his balcony and hit off of grass onto a green that he has built in his backyard. Like, people say there's like Oprah money and Tiger Woods money. There's Oprah money and Tiger Woods money. Oh man, dreams, right? Like, just walk outside, have a tee box, just hit shots before bed. And when you wake up in the morning, have your coffee. And heck, you got you got acres around you. Just walk on out there, bathrobe, hit some shots, see how close you get to the hole. Yeah. This is going to be interesting. So this is a antitrust litigation. So they're actually trying to avoid any slap or any anti-slap, because they're trying to allege this as unlawful interference. And Tiger Woods is not a participant in the litigation. He's simply an individual with knowledge. Now, the funny thing is, Tiger Woods is going to basically say, hell no, I'm not sitting down. I'm not being deposed. I had a meeting. My meeting is of no consequence because I can't control what the PGA does. I have no sway in what the PGA does. I'm not a sitting member of the board. I'm not a party to the lawsuit. Tiger Woods basically says, I have no information that you can get from me. Go pound sand. And I'm pretty sure that argument's going to win. If Tiger Woods sits for a deposition for this person, heck, if it even makes it that far without getting dismissed, I will gladly eat crow, but I just don't see that happening. So that is how Tiger Woods somehow gets roped in to a defamation case brought by Patrick Reed. And yes, to the people in the chat, Larry Clayman. I'm going to forget that. I'm going to mess that name up. Larry Clayman filed his lawsuit first. Patrick Reed's lawsuit was filed second. I don't know who Patrick Reed's PR guys are. I don't know why Patrick Reed went and filed this with this particular attorney. I have no clue. I would have thought that, having looked at the Joe Arpaio case, the other cases that he's lost, and everything else going on in this guy's career, that you might want to just not do the thing you just did. Oh, New Zealand butterfly girl, Heather. Well, Patrick Reed can teach him how to pound sand. Why did I not see that before? That was so good. That was so good. Oh, that's such a good comment. Oh, such a great comment. Anyways, yeah. I don't see this lawsuit going anywhere, realistically. But I did think it was really funny, and it kind of caught my attention for a part of the day. And it led me down that little road of research. So, hey, you guys have information now. I'm probably going to keep looking at this one. So we'll see where it goes. Let's go ahead and hit super chats, and then we'll get out of here for an early evening. Okay. Claude Simeon, thank you for the super chat. Pursue a fourth career ASMR golf color commentator. Oh, I don't have time for a third or a fourth career. Plus, I like just watching golf. If I had to actually do work while watching golf, my golf is where I go to make my brain stop working. I love it. Lindsay Metcalf, we can only hear when you have your voice mod on. Hopefully I fixed that. Thank you, Lindsay, for helping that. Lindsay Metcalf, if all the players of all pro sports spoke out against the various unsavory funders and investors they play for, there would be no pro sports. That actually is a very good point. That Saudi pool of money that they've been using to gain all of these players has also gone to FedEx, different airlines, other companies that do a great deal of business in the U.S. and other companies that invest a lot of money in a lot of U.S. sports, including the NBA, NFL, NHL, etc. So also to those of you in the chat who are members who are enjoying the lovely new emojis, you can thank Lindsay Metcalf for those emojis, including the secret McSquirrel emoji. A kudos and homage to our super mod who always is helping moderate these streams. And then also you can thank them for the focus emoji. Thank Lindsay for the focus emoji because that was her doing. So give her a thanks for those. Brewer Berries, even including endorsements, Messi as the highest Forbes athlete 2022 was combined 130 million for the year. 750 million though? Yeah. I have thoughts as well. Tiger Woods is worth a ton of money. I think the contract that he was talking about negotiating with one of these new sports games was $100 million for the life of the contract. That's Tiger Woods. I mean, I don't think he's anywhere near there. And yes, Burberry's. That's Rosa. Rosa made the little my friends. So thank you, Rosa. Miss Deed, how not to be human. Read. Sad face emoji. I don't know if I would say he's not human. I would say that he's angry. He's lashing out at this moment. So Lindsay Metcalf, this dude needs some Amica cream for his ego. I don't think that would help. I really don't. I think that I have no idea. No idea what went through his head in making that. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. I mean, we already have the news that Pat Perez is dropping out of the Live Golf tournament or Live Golf lawsuit. Whether that's true or substantiated, I'm not sure. It's already rumored that some of these lawsuits are losing traction. So we'll see how far these go. SRK Happy, did he file his personal lawsuit first and Patrick Reed's lawsuit? So it seems like one is hitching their wagon to the other for profit. I mean, his was filed first. Patrick Reed's was filed second. Those are attorney-client communications. That's between them. Sandy Ramirez, thank you for the super chat. Can Clayman's license be pulled by Florida Bar for being overly litigious? I know he has been reprimanded in the past. Being overly litigious itself is not something that can get you reprimanded. You actually have to violate a rule of professional conduct. So, and I'm not gonna speak to that. And you guys know my opinion on that. I don't care if you don't like him. If you have not actually been injured by his behavior on a personal level, if he has not done something unethical that you have been a participant in, do not go and bomb this guy. Don't go and talk to him. Just stay nice. The nice thing about my chat, that I love my chat, you guys are good. You're very friendly. You are positive for the most part. We don't go and pull the shenanigans that we comment on. So we're going to keep it that way. Marianne Williams, thank you for that super sticker. Thank you very much for being here. T in Tennessee. Hey, Tish. How in the world do you get your brain to stop working? I don't. I tried to play, but couldn't clear my head enough. Oh, golf is great because you have to yell at yourself so loudly that everything else goes away. Yeah, it's awesome. New Zealand Butterfly Girls, if players are being paid when winning golf tournament, is it fraud to cheat? That's why the PGA has a regulating body. That's why players are subject to penalty when they participate in activities that are inappropriate. That's why they get fined and sanctioned. That's why they get kicked out of tournaments. Yeah, they regulate themselves. Mirza Lynn, thank you for the super chat. Aren't most sports agents actually attorneys? Just curious as to who his agent is and why they may not be involved. I have no clue. I have no idea. All I know is that his wife is on the bag. His wife caddies for him. So, oof. those of you guys that are married in the stream, just imagining, like, not just you going out on a golf course with your significant other, but also giving them advice on how to hit their shots. How would that go over? I imagine not well. Yeah, that would be interesting. And different sports question. Thank you for the super chat. Any chance that Alvin Kamara actually faces jail time this year for the felony battery charges? I don't know. That's a case I haven't been following very well. I know that he has been allowed to play preseason games. We'll see. I don't know where the NFL is on their investigation there, or whether there's any suspensions. And the chat is responding very, very loudly that no, being on the golf course with your significant other is probably not the best way of healing a marriage. I don't know. As far as your fantasy league is concerned, I don't know. The all-around yards are hard to give up. And I don't know that I would make that bet one way or the other. That's why I'm not doing fantasy this year. NFL is too crazy right now. Brentwood Cheek, thank you for being you, Rob. Enjoy this live. Thank you for being here. Loved it. All right, guys. I told you it was going to be kind of short, not crazy, covering some limited stuff. It's great to have you guys here. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I will keep an eye on this lawsuit. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you guys have any questions, we got one more. I don't know. Oh, T in Tennessee. My husband gives me shooting tips. He has about 20 years experience than me as it was detected. Oh, but shooting in golf. I don't know, Tish. We might disagree. I feel like shooting tips are one thing. Golf swings are very personal. Very personal. Yeah. Golfers don't take very kindly to having their swings commented on. So I don't know. Chrissy Lee, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry to DM you twice in a week, but I promised chat friends I'd ask you something. So when you have a chance to read it, it's pretty funny. The second message, I will read that the second I get off the stream. I'll read it and I'll respond to it. So without further ado, thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for watching this content. I'm going to keep an eye on this lawsuit. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. I am very curious to see if it makes it to that deposition date. I have actually put a notification on my calendar for that depo date to check back in and make sure that this thing has not yet been dismissed. We will check in on it again. Until then, hope you guys have a great evening, great rest of your week. Enjoy the week, have some fun, go touch some grass, and enjoy some time outside. See you guys.